If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that sub button for more amazing content. Now, let's jump straight into the video. What's good, YouTube, and welcome back to the Bofino One podcast, and I'm your host, Bofino One, and as you guys can see from the title of this video, we're going to be talking about how the Biden administration extends payment pause on the student loans. So I usually don't talk about, political things, but this is something that affects me and many of you that are probably watching this video or that follow me that, you have student loans and, you're waiting to see, hey, are you going to get 10K off or whatever? What are they going to do next? Is it going to happen? So let's jump straight into the article. So here we go. We have Biden administration extends payment pause on student loans. So as you can see, there go Biden. The Biden administration on Tuesday announced that it will extend the payment pause on federal student loans until after June or when it's able to move forward with its debt forgiveness plan. Federal student loan bills had been scheduled to resume in January. The administration's move comes in response to a federal appeal court ruling last week that imposed a nationwide injunction on the debt relief plan. And so essentially pretty much is that it kind of goes back to like I was saying, Biden came out with a plan pretty much stating that, hey, we're going to cancel a certain dollar amount for student loans. It was like $10,000 and then $20,000 for those that have like Pell Grants. And then there's a certain income. So if you're single or married, if you qualify, so like me, I would qualify for 10K off my student loan debt. And that was supposed to happen like this month or whatever. And that's when the payments were going to resume in January. So January of 2023. But due to, there being like lawsuits and certain things that have happened, it's stopped. And so Biden's like, okay, well, since it's stopped and the student loans were coming out of forbearance and it was going to start in January, they don't want people to essentially be paying for something that they don't owe. Because that can kind of, I guess you say, backfire in their face. Like if some people may be really close to 10,000. So if they go back out of forbearance, meaning like you have to start paying on them, some people may go into the $9,000, $8,000. So they're paying on debt that essentially they don't need to pay. So in quotes, we're extending the payment pause because it would be deeply unfair to ask borrowers to pay a debt that they wouldn't have to pay, were it not for the baseless lawsuits brought by Republicans officials and special interests, Education Secretary Miguel Cardona said in a statement. The pause will be extended until 60 days after the Biden administration is allowed to implement its student loan forgiveness plan and litigation is resolved, according to a press release by the U.S. Department of Education. If it can't proceed with its policy and the legal challenges are still unfolding, by June 30th of 2023, student loan payments will restart 60 days after that. So it sounds as if that they're going to, if need be, they can push it all the way out until June 30th of 2023. But if they can't, then they're just going to have to restart 2 months after that. So then June, July, so August 30th, or I guess September 1st is when you can expect. So essentially, if you're someone that has student loans, with it still being in forbearance, and let's say you have a bigger amount than 10K, if you've been doing like what I've been doing, this is your opportunity to knock down. It's still an opportunity regardless, especially if you're not at 10K, to keep paying on your student loans, to knock down. So, you know what I mean? Like when it does come out, you'll have a lower amount. It's the 8th time the Education Department has extended the pandemic era relief policy. Federal student loan payments have been on pause since March of 2020, when the coronavirus pandemic first hit the U.S. and crippled the economy. Resuming the bills for more than 40 million Americans will be a massive task, and the Biden administration had hoped to ease the transition by forgiving a large share of student debt first. Yet not long after President Joe Biden announced his sweeping plan to cancel up to $20,000 in student debt for millions of Americans, a number of conservative groups and Republican-backed states attacked the policy in the courts. 2 of these lawsuits have been successful in at least temporarily halting the relief, and the Education Department closed its loan cancellation application portal this month. A top official at the Education Department recently said student loan default rates could dramatically spike if its loan forgiveness plan is thwarted due to the ongoing confusion about what they owe. So it sounds as if they're saying that if they keep extending it over and over and over, eventually what will happen is like the rates could really hike up. So you could end up, in a sense, if you have money left, you could end up owing even more, I guess, because of compound interest, or I don't know. Biden tweeted about the extension Tuesday. In quotes, "I'm confused that our student debt relief plan is legal, but it's on hold because Republican officials want to block it," Biden tweeted. "That's why at C. Cardona is extending the payment pause to no later than June 30th of 2023, giving the Supreme Court time to hear the case in its current term." And so, yeah, that looks to be the end of the article. So as we guys can kind of see, this is essentially where we're at. We're kind of in a standstill. We kind of have to wait and see what happens. But nonetheless, I mean, like I said, you still can look at it as an opportunity. If you're not at 10K or not close to 10K, that you can still keep paying because it's going to be in forbearance, meaning you're not going to be paying any interest. So what you'll be paying will essentially all be going towards the principal. So it's like you're still getting helped out until they figure it out, if that makes sense. But yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts about this down below in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that thumbs up, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.